crispy.
Welcome back to another episode of Figures in Action, and today I bring to you a dial that has some weird shit on it, so I'm just gonna brush it away. So I bring you another Alleyway creation. Was contacted by a gentleman actually through my Facebook artist page, and he hit me up and had seen my work for some time, and had been wanting to get in contact with me, pull the trigger on purchasing a dial, commissioning a dial. So he finally hit me up, told me what he had in mind, told me what his budget looked like, and what he wanted, and we went to work from there. I think his only I shouldn't say that. I think he definitely requested like a doorway, but I think the only real request he had was that grated door, that roll-up door, that it comes it comes out. He wanted to be able to have that door open up, so that's what I did. That piece is removable. So real quick, let's do the stats. We are looking at 16 inches across. We are looking at a very big yardstick that is not comfortable to deal with this. About 11 inches deep and 12 inches tall, as I normally do them. This was the first time I ever worked on... Let me take that back. This is the first time that I ever carved the green foam versus... or carved bricks into the green foam versus the pink foam. So I had done a floor, I had done a floor before using that green board. So if you guys don't know, if you don't follow me on any other platforms, recently I was given some green foam insulation foam board by a friend at work who was going to use it for something else, ended up not working out, so they gave it to me, and I liked it. I liked how it felt, and so I proceeded to buy a few more boards. And what I liked about these boards is that they're not warped like the pink ones. The pink ones, you're losing 6 to 8 inches just to cut off that warped, that warped side. So with this, it's perfectly straight boards, which is great. So if I remember correctly, yes, this is green. This is green insulation foam board. That's the pink stuff back there. So it's hard to explain. It feels a little different when you're carving it out. It almost feels a little bit less dense than the pink stuff, but it does texture the same. It's real comparable. It's really comparable. It's just because they're straight. I'd go with I'm gonna be going with the green ones for some time until those pink ones kind of start being released straight. So the ones that I usually get are the 2x2, 2 feet by 2 feet. They have them in the green as well, and so and those are at Lowe's exclusively. I don't think they're at Home Depot. Home Depot carries the pink insulation foam board. So anyway, just wanted to get that out the way. So we get a little, a difference in the materials used, but they actually ended up reacting real similarly. So that worked out. So let's break this down real quick. First and foremost, I just wanted to put an Articulate Icons White Ninja in there just for scale, so you guys get an idea of the scale of this build. And we can take him away and kind of go through everything step by step. All right, so first and foremost, this is a sewing mesh. I've used it a ton of times. It's real versatile, and so I use the sewing mesh, and then on the outside I always forget the name of that paper, dude. I'm the worst human ever. Let's just call it rice paper. But it's that paper that you can get at, it's like that frosted paper you can get at the scrapbooking section at AC Moore. So that's, behind. The door is made out of skinny foam board. And but when I say skinny, I mean the project foam boards that you get for like science projects in school and so forth. So this is just actually 2 pieces glued together to form the door. This doorknob, I've shown this before. It's this set that I got from Michael. I forgot specifically what it's for, but what I like about it is that it has like a screw-on base, so I can, you know, I'm able to put the, and I'm not sure if I can, yeah, I guess you can't screw it off. So because it does have a screw-on base, there's the ability to, this is the first time I'm doing this, you can actually screw it off. So you can see I put the base, buried it behind kind of that plate, and that plate is just plastic. It's plastic that's spray painted. But so this little is what I've been using these days for doorknobs, and I think they look really good for a doorknob. And they come in like a silver, a bronze, and I think like a goldish color. So let's screw that back on. The reinforcement borders here in the corner, and this is so that when vehicles are backing up, they don't chip away the cement. So they're supposed to be metal. So there's just a foam sheets. So they have foam sheets. They were actually brown, and what I did is I painted them in yellow. And let me fix that background. Painted them in yellow, and just took like the tip of a pen. And now that I'm looking at this, I wanted to put like, kind of have it looking like this rust coming out from these little circles. So I'm going to do that before I send it out. What I use for this is just the roll-up cardboard that I've used before plenty of times. It's just the inside of a cardboard box essentially. The light that I used was they have these at the dollar store. So I either get these. I like these better for shining below this type of door, where the other ones that are more cone shaped, I think they look better when you put them above the door. So definitely like this look for this light. This comes all white, and so what I do is I just tape off the bottom and I spray paint the top. I do sand it just so that paint adheres a little better to it, and has an on and off switch, which is great. And that's removable as well, obviously. The pipes are from the do-it-yourself straws. Those sets can be found. We found them at supermarkets. They can be found at Walmart, Five Below, dollar stores have them sometimes. This is just, and so that's that. And I have to cut them and size them up. This bottom piece actually is removable, so that it adds an accessory to the dial, and the client can use it to, you know, have an action figure pick it up and swing it at somebody. So I thought that was pretty cool to kind of add that accessory. This is just a foam board, insulation foam board. I think it's a pink one. I just kind of cut it. Usually they're an inch thick. I just cut in half, so it's half an inch thick. And I just carved out what the door would look like. And these are just toothpicks, little corners, little pieces of toothpicks that I just kind of jammed in there and glued down to make it look like hinges for those doors. The signage, a lot of people ask me like where I get my signage. So my signage I just get from the internet. Basically what I do is I look for signage. Let's say I'm doing an alleyway, so I put alleyway signage, get some stuff, and then I copy or I save the image. Then what I do is I take the image over to Publisher, which is a program that usually comes with any computer that's not an Apple. And so it's Microsoft Publisher, and I just shrink them to size. So I just size them down so that they fit the scale that I'm looking for. So that's all it is. And I just cut them, print them and cut them, regular paper, nothing fancy. But you can get a lot of cool signage that way. Print Mini is something I still turn to for certain things, but you know, I always want to try to be original and do things that are a little bit different. So I usually kind of go a different route. The floor has been textured first and foremost with these little black these little black pebbles that my girlfriend had given me a while back. So what I do is I just, and they're perfect for this color obviously, so I just put some glue in there and I, you know, put some in and just wait for that to dry. And then I take and then what I did in this case at the end of that, I took Mod Podge and I put a bunch of coffee grounds, and I think it was coffee grounds, I'm pretty sure, no, it wasn't coffee grounds, I take that back, it was more of these, and I put them in the Mod Podge, and then I just with a brush just brush them all over, so you feel texture all over the dial. There's like no smoothness there, as there wouldn't be on a street. And the Mod Podge also gives it kind of a little bit of a gloss. These little things right here, just hand towel pieces, little hand towel. So I just rip little pieces, and I also put them in Mod Podge and just brush them on. These are sticks. That's some newspaper from Print Mini, a little wood and whatever. As I usually do, I try to make a dial as versatile as possible and try to give it different looks. So in this particular case, what I did is just added, or not added, because he wanted that door, instead of just putting the door on the back of this side, I just gave it like its own little section. And again, you could see kind of the pink and the green that I did this on purpose just so I can kind of see it right next to each other and how it textured and how it cut up. So it did a pretty good job. And what being able to remove this piece does is allows you to have a bigger space to work on. So I just threw a billboard on there behind that so it won't look too plain. So yeah, he almost gets 2 dials in one, I guess you can say. Again, this door removes. I won't remove it because it's kind of a pain in the butt. And yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Another one in the books. I'm definitely happy with the way this came out, and I'm looking forward to seeing his shots, and I will be mailing this tomorrow. I've been sitting on it for a little bit, man. I needed to move it. Finally airbrushed it this morning, and took my shots just now, and I'm gonna start circulating this across my social media platforms. Alright, y'all, and I'm out. Peace.